Hey guys, it's the Horror Junkies of Utah, and we are back with the Walking Dead podcast. We're on season 6, episode 9, and boy, has it been a while since we've done this, Alex. I have Alex Heineman returning to give us his clever thoughts, opinions, and whatever else Alex does. Hey Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How you guys doing out there on the internet?
I'm sure they're all
Doing
fine.
great. Taking a break between your cat videos, your creepy pornography, teaching your grandma how to use her email, and now you're listening to the podcast. It's pretty good.
All right, well, let's just start with this. This episode is called No Way Out. Do you have an opinion on why they call it No Way Out? Is it just because they're kind of trapped in Alexandria right now and there's no way out of there?
That would be the initial thought. I didn't know the episode was called until just moments
a
ago
moment
before we
ago.
started the podcast. But it would seem that it fits with the theme of the episode where all of our characters seem to be in a position where there's no way out.
No escape.
The wolf, the doctor, there's no way out there. Obviously, Rick and all of his friends. Daryl and all his friends. My favorite character, Eugene, and his buddies. They're all kind of in this fucked position in the episode. It's just kind of how do they get from point A to point B without getting killed?
I totally agree. And we have some deaths in this episode right off the bat. Let's talk about how it opens up. We got these men that have taken, who's there? There's Daryl's there.
Abraham and Sasha.
And they're
That's right.
almost in this position to where you think, oh, they're screwed. You know, they're going to get murdered out here on this street because this ruthless gang of Negan's thugs don't appreciate life at all. So, and they're out to rob them.
So I was on credit of the last podcast saying I hate this show. In fact, as you know, and anyone who listens know, I take notes as I watch the episodes. First notes say, "Welcome back, glad we're back, I hate this show." That's the very first thing I have at the top.
So,
But this opening scene was actually really, really good. I really liked Christopher Barry, who was the main thug, did an amazing job. It was very, very intense.
And very believable.
It's very well paced, too. There wasn't a time when I was watching that I thought, man, this is kind of dragging on, or I think they're pushing this. This scene's going too fast. It needs to develop. It was
just
perfectly
spot
done. And I noticed on the internet a lot of people were saying things like Deus Ex Machina on the rocket launcher. Like that. He found that. Abraham found that on that dangling soldier corpse.
Oh yeah, from way back.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're in that camp, you're stupid. You should probably watch the show.
Are there people saying that it's weird that he just found this rocket launcher randomly, or
that they thought it was weird that Daryl would just happen to have a rocket launcher?
Oh well, it would make sense that it's in the back of the truck because Abraham did find it on the dead zombie soldier.
Yeah.
And if you can't remember that, I mean, that was a pretty epic scene in itself.
Right. My only complaint with that scene was the terrible head that was on fire. That really took me out of the scene. It was just, this crappy prop head just happens to be on fire. It'd be like, I thought if there was a coat or, he had the two guns and there were severed hands and they were on fire, something that would work really well. But that very fake head really was just like, oh, this scene's great. It's great. Oh, fuck, come on. How do you watch that and say, that's the one, that's what we want?
To their credit, though, I was having a conversation with one of our other crew members last night, and he told me that there was no CGI or nothing used in that scene. It was all practical. I don't know how much truth there is behind that, but supposedly it was all just a huge explosion they did with no CGI, and it was all real prop mannequins and all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, that's nitpicking, but...
Well, I have a nitpick, too. From that close of range, I would think a rocket launcher would have just took the guy and made him fly up in the air or whatever, not just explode the whole group of them, but I don't know. I do know one thing. I wouldn't be hearing too well standing that close to this.
Yeah.
They're just like...
The thing in this world is if you shoot zombies, you're never going to hit your friends. And there's no such thing as being in front of the gun and having your ears hurt for a week. That doesn't happen in this world. Okay,
so, I mean, we have that scene, and I thought, okay, we're going to go with that a little bit more, but then it cut to a commercial break, and we're right back to where we left off with the last episode. They're coming out of the house in their zombie clothes that they had to make. And I would think, and maybe I'm nitpicking here, that wouldn't you just always have some random zombie-covered clothing in your closets, just in case so you don't have to make it on the fly?
Yes and no. I mean, I would think it would get really stinky.
Seal it up with something.
And it's not like it's not something that's readily available.
Yeah.
I have another nitpick further down the episode where it's just that same kind of thing. What the fuck doesn't this happen all the time? But another thing that people were talking about was giving Judith to Pastor. Did you think that was something like the beginning of a character change for the guy that everybody hates? Or do you think this is all him trying to be strong? Father Gabriel, that's the name, sorry.
I think they're trying to make Father Gabriel more likable, because I think your whole fan base kind of hates him at the time being, and he's trying to redeem himself and prove, because he went off the deep end there for a little while.
Well, he's making the big mistake, not knowing that as soon as a black character, a male character, gets some sort of decent character traits, he ends up getting killed. So
yeah, that's kind of the rule.
He's writing his own death note.
Yeah, that's the rule of The Walking Dead, straight up. So they're walking through this horde of zombies, and what's his name? The younger kid.
Sam?
Is it Sam?
Yeah. Okay,
yeah. He ends up getting picked off real quick. That totally surprised me,
Yeah.
I'm not...
I was going to say, skip some of the stuff, but we can jump right to that, because I thought that was just... I sent you a message on Facebook that said, I think Walking Dead's kind of gotten back into my good graces.
Oh, with that scene?
I figured he'd be killed off screen.
Yeah, but not just sitting there right in front of our eyes.
Just fucking brutal.
And
then Beckinsale? Alexandra Beckinsale or Beckenridge? She gets eaten.
Yeah, and that hurt my heart, because that's my little crush there.
Breckenridge. So we have Sam get eaten. We had the mom holding onto his hand get eaten, and then straight up child murder happens. And it's just that was in 2 minutes. They did something I never thought the show would have done.
Like right in front of us.
It wasn't a fake out thing. This isn't the whole Glenn's dead, not dead shit.
No, it was just brutal. Like
brutal.
Her son's dead and she's dead, and it was like smacked in your face, and you got Rick just sitting there like, oh fuck, now I gotta start over again.
Yeah, no post-apocalyptic pussy for Rick.
Not for the time being. He's lost another one. And I thought it was funny, though, because the son gets really distracted when he sees that zombie kid walking in the crowd. You know what I'm talking about? You don't see a lot of zombie children in this TV series. I mean, there's some notable ones from, like, Season 1 and Season 3, but, like, in the hordes of zombies, you don't see a lot of zombie kids. Do you think that's just because
child actors? I'm sure it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and that's just another one of my little gripes that I'm going to throw out there. Like, what the hell, man? What happened to all the kids? We got all these adult fucking zombies, and then we get one kid zombie every once in a while. I want to see someone get ripped apart by, like, 8 kid zombies.
They wind up at a school, and it's just a bunch of kindergarten zombies.
Coming after them. Oh, man. So, from there, now we have this...
Can we backtrack a little bit? Because I wanted to talk about the wolf.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I totally missed that part.
He was awesome. And I talked about it in the last series that we did. He comes back. He was short-lived, but I don't think he was underused. I think he used him perfectly. This guy was really, even without talking, was so creepy. His wild eyes, his crazy teeth, they had to look down. But I thought he did a fucking amazing job in the series. And I loved that character.
And were you surprised by his demise, or...
No. I mean,
you just...
It's like the show trope. Bad guys never get away with anything over time.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
I thought he did, just everything he said, the way he talked, the way he delivered his lines, the way he looked.
He straight up is just one
so good.
Evil little bastard, but he's got a sense of humanity there. Like, he knows what's right and wrong, but he's just wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know how some people don't have that sense of right and wrong. I think he has that sense, but he's just evil. And towards the end there, he slowly gets kind of some likability, and then he's gone as well.
Yeah, and we can touch on that later if you want. My whole thought on that was, she's like, you saved me, you came back free. Well, no shit, you're the person who's going to save his life.
Yeah,
I think deep down, everybody wants to just not die.
Exactly. So this episode kind of jumps around a lot from I mean, there's a lot of characters in the episode itself. There's a lot of things happening in it. It kind of is all over the place. So refresh my memory. So we just left off with Rick's group getting attacked, losing 2.
3.
3. Who's the third?
They lost Sam. They lost Breckenridge, and then the older son.
Oh, okay.
So 2 got eaten, and Michonne killed the...
Yes, that's
son.
Right. Okay, that's where you're talking about child murder.
Yes, that's straight up child murder happens in the show.
Yep, that was surprising, to say the least.
And then I think one of the only groups we haven't talked about is Glenn and the young lady. Yep,
and they're coming back. They reach that church.
Yes.
And he's like, look for guns, look for ammo.
Yeah. I like the term Bible Glock.
Bible Glock?
It sounds like a Christian gangster rap group. It's just the idea that they're going through Bibles convinced that they're going to find a Bible Glock.
Well, they do, though.
It's like, it's in a box. Well, I mean, I'm thinking like, the Bible that's hollowed out and there's a flask inside.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's the term that comes to mind. It's like, there's got to be a fake Bible in here that has a gun in it. Like the cigar box.
Just ransacking this church.
And then talking about how you live through the people that you've lost. Kind of motivational speech. Go get 'em, slugger, thing that Glenn throws down.
Glenn is very much like that lately, though. He's gives a lot of speeches to this younger girl, and I don't know if sometimes he feels like the older brother card or the older dad card or something that he's thrown out there.
Yeah, it's very much taking after Herschel,
mm-hmm.
And I loved the Dale reference. It's been a long time since we've thought of that character, which is nice. But it's, I don't know, I almost feel like it's hokey, like this forced hokiness where they're like, remember these guys? Remember Herschel? Remember these great characters that we had at one point in the show? Come on, Enid, get on board with these people you've never fucking met. And she's like, I miss my mom, and I miss my dad, and I miss that turtle that I had to eat.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
Out of everything he says to her to get her, hey, you can live, we're meant for so much more. We're humans, we're survivors, we're family. It's no, hey, this old guy in a bad hat got eaten by a zombie that my friend's kid didn't kill. You should live for that. That makes so much sense.
A lot of throwbacks.
Sorry, I didn't skip that kind of stuff. You were asking about the other people.
No, you're fine. And that's, I mean, this, like I said, this episode is all over the place. So I'm trying to think of how to direct everything, what direction we need to go now.
Right. And then after that, we had more wolf stuff. I think we've talked about the wolf guy plenty.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean, he
into,
gets...
Carol and Morgan territory.
Well, Carol, she's pissed. And obviously there's... What does she say to Morgan? I should have killed you, or...
Yeah, she says, I should have killed you, and Morgan says, you can't. So I don't... There's part of me that thinks it's foreshadowing.
Or
there's going to be a scene where she's going to have to kill Morgan, and she can't, so Morgan ends up dying.
Oh, God,
like
yeah.
Their means, something along those lines.
I could maybe see that. We also have this huge battle now going on. Rick's kind of just, screw it, I'm going to take every one of these zombies on. But that comes because his son ends up with the demise that happens in the comic books, but I believe it happens a little differently in the TV series, where now he is eyeless.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I hate about this show, because they've shown that they're afraid to kill main characters.
Yes.
While I enjoyed the death of Porch Dick's family, they were just fodder for zombies anyway. We had no real reason to be attached to any of them, other than the fact that we want to see
people get eaten,
dick sucked by somebody who's alive. And I mean, that was really the only motivation. We were really hoping a love interest would happen, and it didn't. And that's not enough for me to say, well, these are very important characters that I cared a lot about. So, seeing Carl get shot, there was never a thought in my mind of, he's fucked.
Oh, that he's going to die?
So, yeah, it's just...
No, because they're not... And I'm totally with you, because, like... I think they hold back a lot on killing those lovable characters, because at some time they might be afraid of a little fan backlash.
Yeah, like in my notes, please let Carl be dead. Please, he's not, but please let him be dead. Well, it's nothing against the kid, nothing against the guy who plays him.
You just want
like the story to say, hey, you've been in here for a long time to get killed.
Get out of here type thing.
Yeah.
And we have that happen. His eye is obviously destroyed, and they run into that home, barricade themselves in, and this is where Rick starts to get into he kind of did it back in the prison, when he lost his wife, and now he's kind of, back there doing that again, like, oh, I'm just going to get out here, and I'm going to kill every last one of these fucking...
So as much shit as I give this show, Angry Rick is still one of my favorite characters on TV right now.
Angry Rick?
Angry Rick is just awesome.
And why do you like Angry Rick?
Because he's everything that you want in this show, in the sense that so many people watch zombie shows because they want to see the zombies die. He just has no regard. It's just that pure aggression that they use sparingly in the show, which is to their credit, which I think a lot of people wish they used more of. But it's him going crazy. It's like the zombie RPG game, and Rick needs to grind, because grinding for experience is the worst thing ever. He's like, fuck, I need to level up, time to smash some zombies, get mad.
The whole time I'm watching, once he gets out there and he's going at this zombie horde alone at first, and then he gets back up. But the whole time I'm watching this, I'm thinking, man, this is awful lot like Diablo 3 or
I like that you went with Diablo, because I immediately went to Pokemon. That's the worst part of any Pokemon game is random battles. Gotta level up so I can take on tougher people. I gotta fight Negan, so I need to get those cheap experience points.
Yeah, and that's the reason I go to Diablo is I guess I've just grown up with that game, and that's kind of what it is. It's just pointless hack and slash, level up to level 45. None of the enemies can really ever kill you except the bosses, so that's just the whole point. And then, oh, here comes the other people. They're going to level up too.
And then my reference I wrote down for you during that was when Gabriel was like, God has spoken to me, and this is what we need to do. And I'm like, in typical Christian logic, God will save us by having us do all the work.
Yep.
Sorry.
But he finally gets some of his bravery, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm sure that pissed off at least one person out there, so.
And we got
you, person who got upset.
And while they're in this epic battle of Lord of the Rings proportions, whatever you want to refer it to, we have Maggie, who is trapped, but I don't know why she's trapped, because obviously she's on that platform, right?
Yeah, she was on the guard tower.
Yeah.
The whole thing went down, that was how she had to escape.
But
Find temporary refuge up there.
the
thing I didn't get about that scene, I don't know why Maggie didn't use the unlimited ammo cheat code. Glenn clearly used it. He had unlimited ammo in that little handgun. Maggie forgot to put the code in. She was freaking out about Glenn, and she forgot that he also knows God mode, so he can't die.
I love it. So she just forgot to enter all the cheats. She's playing straight up old school, and he's got, Genie. Game Genie going on. Shit, that's hilarious. And yeah, you are right, because he goes down there and he's got that handgun that usually holds 12 or 14 bullets, and he shoots off.
He has the extended banana clip, like a full drum.
Yeah, and God mode.
Yeah, and God mode on, because he always has God mode on.
But he gets cornered there for a minute, and then he must have put in another cheat or something. Because right there, at that single moment when he's almost just straight up fucked, you get Abraham and was it Daryl that was up there with him, or Sasha that just
Sasha.
Yeah, just start blowing away zombies for him. And that's the one thing I don't like about Glenn's character, and you put it perfectly, is Glenn's character has all these cheats, I guess you would say. He's just got all this stuff that any other character in that situation would be screwed, but him, man, he just gets out of it all.
Yeah, and like I said before, when you were talking about the rocket launcher not hurting their ears, yeah, I'm sure Glenn can hear just fine after not being hit by all these bullets from an automatic rifle from these guys who are perfect shots. Again, it's like that trope you have to kind of accept in this show. And again, we're griping about gunshots hurting your ears as lifeless corpses come back to life, feast on the living. So you kind of have to put it in context.
Yeah, it's
just one of those things that I'm so over now. But every time someone points it out, you just gotta go, yeah, that's fucking dumb. You're right. It's stupid.
Oh, well, I'll stop pointing it out then.
Oh no, it's fine. It's just something that's always there. Teaching them gun safety is like, always stand behind the barrel. Unless there's zombies attacking you, then it won't affect you. The sound gets absorbed by them.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? You're this far in the episode. We're probably, midway?
Almost done. This is near the end of the episode, buddy.
You're right. That's okay. That's my one gripe with this episode is it's hard for me to sit here and think about the timeline of this episode, because it is just, I think it's all over the place. Where on some of their episodes, I think they focus way too much on one character's story, and then all of a sudden they'll come back to the main story that was left 2 episodes ago. But in this one, they're just like, we're going to tell everyone's story real quick in chaotic explosions and gunfire and just your typical, we're reopening the season and we're going to kick ass, and this is what it's going to be.
Yeah, the only time I really noticed that in this episode was when the wolf and the doctor were hanging out by the fence, and it was afternoon, and then it cuts to night, and they're still just hanging out there. It's 6 hours must have passed.
Yeah.
Just standing there. I don't know what you talk about with somebody you don't like after being there that long. It's that question of, would you rather be stranded on an island alone or stranded on an island with your enemy? Would you rather be hanging out waiting for zombies to pass by yourself, behind a fence, or with some guy you don't like holding you at gunpoint? You don't move, you don't have to piss or shit, you don't have to worry about food.
So, where do you think this is? I mean, what are your overall opinions and feelings on this episode? Is it finally exciting you a little bit and bringing? Because there was a moment in last season's podcast that you were just like, "Fuck this." Now that's what I call a bad episode. That's what I'm going to use.
That episode was terrible. So I liked this episode a lot until one of the last scenes.
And what scene?
Where I didn't know that they had established that zombies like to walk into fire. I remember that being established, and that before we started getting into this, we talked about, why did they just do this if this existed throughout the entire show?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they not just start shit on fire wherever they go, so that zombies from all over the place would just wander into the fire and cook themselves alive? That made no sense to me at all. I'm just like, oh, hey, by the way, zombies like fire, like to hang out in fire. So what we're going to do is start this lake on fire, and all the zombies are going to walk into it and just commit suicide on a mass level. Why would you not just use scorched earth
warfare?
Yeah. So
are we going back to Stalin type stuff, or just kidding?
Yeah. Anytime you leave somewhere, like, all right, this town, we've taken all we need from this town. Let's start it on fire, so zombies from miles around just come here and commit suicide and not have to worry about them anymore. Why would you not be using this idea from the very beginning?
Yeah,
that
and I mean,
me nuts.
It's kind of like, have you seen George A. Romero's Land of the Dead?
Yes.
Where they call them sky flowers, but it's just bottle rockets and fireworks that distract the zombies. Is that what you're kind of getting at? These zombies they get distracted and just walk towards this fire and...
Yeah, but why would this not be something you're doing
from the very first? You know, it's just one of those, let's have a very epic scene with cool music and lots of death. I don't know. But then again, do the zombies actually die when they're on fire, or do they just become very toasty, cooked, well-done corpses?
Because I would think that they burn.
I remember
they would get rid of the bodies.
I remember a scene, though, and this was back when we were still dealing with... that officer, and she had that hospital and everything, and they come across an area where they had burned all the zombies, but they were still kind of like alive pieces of meat on the ground. One guy actually gets like eaten by them. You remember that?
Is this from last season?
This was from season 5, yeah, before they get to Alexandria, like the beginning of season 5. You know what cop I'm talking about, right? That female cop.
Okay. Are you talking about they're locked up in the hospital?
Yeah, but they...
Okay, my thought was when they stumbled upon those handful of survivors, and you had the one with diabetes or low blood pressure, whatever.
Yeah.
Daryl. Sorry, she falls on the corpse and gets eaten.
But so now that I've sidetracked us, so you enjoyed the episode until that point. Is that a big enough gripe to make you mad and not like the episode at all anymore, or was that just one little tidbit that you were annoyed with?
It took it down a big notch, but not big enough for me to say this episode isn't worth watching.
Okay. Now, what do you think? What do you think's going to happen next? When do you think Negan's coming? Do you have any predictions or?
Well, what sucks about that is they've already said he's not going to make an appearance until like the last episode.
Okay, I didn't follow that in the news, so we already know he's going to be out there.
And I'm really worried that the rest of the season is going to be them building up Alexandria.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I had that same feeling because they've done this a lot in The Walking Dead, where they open up with a very, very strong episode, either in the season premiere or our midship point, whatever you call it. And then you just get like 6 episodes of filler crap.
Yeah. So I'm kind of worried about that because from everything I've heard, now I could be wrong, shit changes, that Negan's not coming around until about the last episode.
So why would we even be... Yeah.
So it might just be downhill from here.
So the rebuilding of Alexandria, kind of like SimCity or something. But, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the episode. It's just when they open up that strong and with that much chaos, I got the feel of, okay, they spent all their remaining budget on this episode, and we're gonna get a bunch of just nonchalant,
just kind of filler stuff where one random person gets eaten by a zombie, and we get really upset that random neighbors bitten and eaten.
Until we reach, again, the Negan appearance, which will be obviously way later.
Yeah.
So any last thoughts on this episode? I mean, anything you want to get off your chest and admit to the world?
Carl's been shot twice in this series.
He has.
So I'm pretty sure he's going to grow up to be a rapper.
I got shot 2 times.
His rap group will be called Bible Glock.
Bible Glock. I love it. Bible Glock.
The only other thing I gotta add is I can't wait to watch Better Call Saul tonight.
You know what? That is coming back, and I am still finishing season 1 on Netflix, and I'm seeing right now on the internet returns tonight at 10/9 Central from AMC.
Hey, AMC, where's those promotion fat stacks?
Well, guys, anyways, I don't think we have much more to talk about in this episode. If you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and it's probably on AMC's website for free viewing. I'm not sure. They usually do that every once in a while, don't they?
I'm not sure.
And if you got
yes.
Comcast, they have it on there. And I don't know about any other providers, but go check it out. Let us know what you think of it. Was it just too much violence and too much explosions and Diablo warfare, or was it a big, good start to open it up? Let us know. Anyways, I am Marcus.
I'm Alex.
And we are the War Junkies of Utah. Return next week for our next podcast on The Walking Dead. Go ahead and like us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. And leave a comment below on your favorite part of this episode.